Hello and welcome to this month's episode of Student Diaries.
This is Dan Hawes
your
from
unique
Graduate
opportunity
Recruitment
to
Bureau.
hear from three
Hope you're looking
University
forward to
of
hearing
Sussex
from
students.
our students.
I hope you enjoy
It's
it.
been a month since we last spoke to them, so let's find out what they've been up to. So I'm here with Anastasia. We're going to find out a little bit more about what she's been up to.
I'm here with
in
our
the
newest member
last 4 weeks.
on Student Diaries.
Over to you.
Anastasia.
Hi, thanks for having me
Looking
again.
forward to catching up.
Right, so
What's
the
been up to
last
since
4
we last
weeks.
spoke,
I guess
4 weeks
where we
ago.
left off was
So,
about
what's been going
kind
on?
of coming to the end of strike week.
Yeah.
So I guess what I've been trying to do within the
Okay.
last 2 weeks is
Last
I
thing
spent
that
the
I
entire
just
time
recently
really
did was
just kind
finishing
of
my first paper.
trying
That
to
was,
find my bearings again.
It was
Yeah.
interesting.
Just kind of
Okay.
preparing myself
Kind of
for,
arduous,
future exams and essays that we'll
very
be having
nervous
around
and a lot of
January time.
anxiety before
Okay.
actually submitting.
Yeah, so I
just
think
because again,
yeah, so I've
always
always said that I fully supported strikes and everything else, but now looking at it, where I am in this new month,
so
it
yeah,
actually
in the
affects me a
meantime, what I've
lot
just
in
been
terms
doing
of
here and
not being
there
able
is
to have
trying to,
access
I
to
guess, get out a little
tutors
bit more,
and
like I think
lecturers
we
in order to
about.
assist me with a lot of my work.
So I went to one
So
of
I've
the
just kind of
talks,
been trying to
was
figure
like
out
the
how I go
BBC
about
Question Time style event that we
yeah.
had last week. So that was
I guess
really
resolving that
interesting.
within myself
When
and
with a
then
few
trying
people,
to
so it was really it was
work
quite
out
good
how
to
I go
kind of
about
get
like
different
planning
perspectives
essays
from
and doing everything,
different
and
parties,
if
especially
it
those
doesn't
I
pan
wouldn't
out as
necessarily
well
align
as I
myself
thought it would
with.
be, then
But it
it's
was
not an
it was
excuse,
great.
but then
Really
I
good
just know
fun.
that I tried my best, and it is
And
again
obviously,
my
I
first
guess
year,
in
so
part relates a little bit
that's
to what
a
I'm
setback,
studying
and although you agreed with the
IR,
principle
and everything else.
of the strike,
Trying to think of anything else I've been doing really. It's just just
speaking,
kind
it has
of gearing
affected
up,
your,
preparing to submit
studies.
more work and everything
So,
else, and then
but it
obviously
won't
we
just
have
be you,
the
will it? Be
strike.
everyone
So
else.
yeah, it'll be a lot of people.
Actually have
and I think
nothing
especially with
this
my
week,
department, I had
next
nothing
week at all.
Wow,
So
okay.
and then
I guess I'm
think
very deeply affected
with a
by what's
few
going on,
of,
but
like,
I
it
can't
was- the
really
sentiment was there
because I
was a few other
completely
people in
understand
terms of
what's
tutors
going on.
wanting to
I know a
just
lot of my
combine
teachers and
different
seminars being paid hourly
module topics
or,
together and
Yeah.
again
having a
to help
contract,
us, but
even though they've
really I
worked here
don't
for
really know how
years,
effective that was.
It's really
'Cause it was
absurd.
just
Yeah,
so content
about the
heavy.
pensions, right?
And I
yeah,
always got to go away
pensions,
and try
yeah,
to
so
work
pensions,
out
the
how I'm
actual pay,
gonna,
and then the workload as well. So the latest class, the last classes that we have
my
now
exam
are
I have in
until about
January
8
as
p.m,
well.
which is crazy. So my Thursdays
So
are
you feeling
constantly
a bit
hectic. I
stressed
don't
with that?
leave until about
I've
7.
been
I
under a
don't get
lot
home
of
till about 8.
pressure. I think
Yeah.
I've
So
definitely cried
again,
more than I have been.
Right.
I
Okay,
so
got it
try
out
to,
the system.
It's out of the system a little bit. I
Obviously,
just have to just
wouldn't
realize
necessarily
that
want it to continue
there's
just because
nothing
I can't
can really
cover
do
most
about
of my
it at this
topics,
stage.
but
I'm
the
gonna
whole
have to keep
point essentially
persevering.
is
That's what
to
I've
cause
always
disruption
done anyway.
and in the hopes
Right,
that
okay.
they actually
And whatever
improve
will be
certain things and meet their
and
demands.
Yeah, that's the point
So
of being at
I guess
university and having
technically
access to so
it's
many
a free holiday, but I'm still doing work. It's just
Yeah, I understand. I understand. Yeah, so you've got well, it's happening at pressure's on. You've got your exams next month. I mean, I was at Leicester. This setback with the strike yesterday for an event. What's this made you perhaps learn something about yourself during this process? Suit at the time,
I think I've always had an issue
but yeah, this
believing
is
that I'm
big
a lot
news.
stronger than I think I am. I mean,
knock-on
I
effects
have, I guess,
is
with
over the 8
like
days or so.
outsiders who generally tell me
that's
that,
gonna
but it's a
affect
matter of me
students,
believing it. So I've always talked about.
Luckily, you've got your
just
first
generally
big project
having this
over
imposter
the
syndrome.
line.
Like, yes, I know I can do
Just
this.
going back
and
to
I can
that, was
write
that
well, but in practice,
something you did
how good am
as a
I?
group, or was it
And so
your own
doing a few
project
essays that
on
I have done
It was
now
my
and being
own
under
work, so
sort of like
it's
very
actually
stressful
an
climate
essay
because of strikes and
one of the
everything else
modules
that
I actually struggle with
having
the
to
most,
navigate,
just because of the
I'm realising I'm more
structure
capable
of that particular
than I
module.
thought.
So instead of having
and I
the
can
lecture
only
and
get
the
better.
seminar,
Like I'm growing
we actually
more
have
every
a
day.
2-hour
This has just been a few
interactive
months now,
lecture.
So
It's quite
telling
difficult not
for the
having
next
time
3 years that
to
I'll be here.
speak to that as an individual tutor.
I mean, university
Kind of go
and
over the
first year
reading,
especially,
and
it's
the content is
lots
so
of new
heavy and
things
dense
are
and it's
thrown at
quite
you.
difficult to kind
Finding your
of
feet
break down and
is
understand
really
and grasp. So
important
having
as
to
much
write
as
an
possible.
essay
So hopefully
on that
you're getting there.
was scary, but
in
I
that
really
respect.
enjoyed
And
it.
you've got to
Even
focus
though I
now
was
with
worried
your
about
exams.
it. I learned a lot about
apart from your studies, taking up a huge amount of your time, is there anything else you've been doing to sort of alleviate? Do you draw on your time when you were doing A levels? Do other things? What else has been going on?
Well, I think actually
a natural
yeah, I don't think I've actually been doing as much as I
given this
would have
particular
done. So
setup,
again,
it
which
took you a while to
is
sort of get motivated?
Yeah, it did.
What was the trigger? What was the
January,
thing
like I
that
said, so I have a whole
made
month
you
now, so
open
I
your
will be
laptop
preparing
and
for exams
start?
and essays, but in between that,
I opened it a few times. I don't know if I mentioned trying to start. I had a panic attack, so I actually came back, and then I just. I think it was honestly the people I live with, just because they're much older, so a lot of them are graduate entry.
A bit more. I have to find time. Like I can't keep making.
So it's just about them kind of saying to me, okay, just break it down. How would you normally do it? And you've been trained since you're about 11 onwards to know how to answer a question. So I just, again, just had to find some sort of motivation to do that, and then having someone else look over it for me. Because once you're staring at something for so long,
so how will you find out about these
a lot of
opportunities?
errors, in fact. So when I finally submitted it, it made a lot more sense than when I was just staring at it and looking at it.
Yeah, sure.
So
waste campaigns that we have on campus.
Pretty,
so they essentially just get.
It was a bit crazy for me.
Yeah, I mean that's the first big project. So lots of changes for you.
Make new food, and then they sell them on campus just pay as you feel. Then outside of that, they do also have.
Of course, the strikes we've talked about, and
based in Brighton as well.
We touched
who are
on
looking for
the
volunteers
question time side of things. So
donate.
Clothes,
do any
students
else, and then just kind of working
believe
in that
that
environment,
MPs anymore are actually going to
in London.
what
So
saying.
whilst I was out for 2 years, I was just kind of playing with a lot of things.
Right now.
Oh, that's good. So you're staying in Brighton?
Yes.
Over Christmas.
Yeah.
I see.
Which that's unpaid work. I mean, how are your finances going? Are you managing to budget and not blow it all?
Kind of general mood
no, I think I'm pretty good at this. So the 2 years I was out, so I did mention before I had to kind of save up to put an application to stay in the country, which was about 10 grand. So I paid about 75%.
But that being said, you do have
my brother and my mom.
I guess a lot of people
so I had to be incredibly frugal. So living, I guess, on £50 a month or something like that.
But I think
the
general consensus is that they would vote for.
Doesn't seem like a lot because I've had to do it before.
It is a little bit more left wing. But I think there is.
I will be working a little bit.
That's just generally like the entire country, and you can feel that on campus as well, where there's just a lot of conflict, and it just feels like this is one of the most important decisions.
Good. Wow. Okay. Well, it sounds like life's carrying on as normal despite these setbacks. You're managing
strikes,
to
and then people handing out leaflets as well to remind everyone to register to vote.
Keep active,
all my group chats actually. I'm in a lot
happens
just telling people to register to vote. If you can't do that, go to your town, like vote. I guess
thank you very much for your time.
So it's really interesting. Everyone's really engaged.
So we're here with Sarah to find out what she's been up to in the last 4 weeks. Sarah, how's things?
Actually during the question time, as well. A lot of people are just worried about how do you instill hope to a lot of people who just think that this current state of our country can now really can't rectify a lot of the issues at the moment. But I think within the younger generation, there is still some sort of hope there. So
good stuff. Yeah, I mean deadlines looming. I imagine
demographic
term finishes pretty soon, doesn't it?
Yeah, so it finished. Finished just on Friday.
More people to register
nice
to
and
vote
recently. But I've still got a couple of deadlines.
There was a lot of talk, but they didn't.
I've already done them.
So maybe this time we'll see a bigger representation
for exams in January now, which is
students
exciting, given that some of the content wasn't.
So lots going on campus.
Afresh alongside covering stuff.
What you've been doing to relax?
Okay, but you're pretty resourceful, self-motivated, and get things done. Thing with you, what we've learned over the previous sessions is you've got so much going on extracurricular.
So I need to say I've done
something. Those on hold.
So that's been really good fun. I've been back
your studies right now, and you've got your exams next month. Has something had to drop by the wayside?
It should have, but it didn't really. With 16 days against gender-based violence going on last week, we had a big protest.
So I might be doing that during Christmas
planning
break
to
as well, and then working a little bit just to cover certain things here and there going into next year.
Change university policy, having stores set up to increase petition signage.
All right, lovely to catch up with you, Anastasia, and we look forward to finding out what you've been up to next time.
Just time and effort and conversations. And
so here we are with Sarah, looking forward to catching up with what she's been up to in the last month or so.
It was more being very,
good.
Regulated calendaring, so making sure I knew which hours I was
with
doing
the strikes
stuff.
going on and being
planning.
I'm
going out
officer.
with
I've
friends this
been
evening. I'll make sure
like organising welfare things so that people on the picket line can have hot drinks and things.
Which did mean I ended up
Q&A
getting
droppings for students to attend if they're not sure what's going on.
I managed to balance
trying to get
everything,
teaching,
and then I've taken a few days off to
just students can be aware of what
went to
issues are being faced, why it's happening, and it isn't seen as just
kind of
the
relaxed
lecturers don't
just
care about
a
us.
very
Actually, the lecturers care so deeply
well-being
that this is
for
the
other
result
students,
they have,
for my well-being,
which has been
events,
like the majority of what I've been doing.
It's some nice
And
greenery.
16 days kickstarted.
Always good for the soul.
So
meeting your friends, are they
going out
fellow university students?
some are, some aren't. So some are
in
from
Brighton,
work, some are from
what you can do to avoid just being a bystander and how to help your friends,
over
how
summer.
to
There
support
were
strangers,
how
to
to
be a part
doctoral
of
students,
like a healthy
from
supportive
Sussex
network for survivors
in
things like
Brighton,
that, which has been
who I've
really
now
fun.
become friends with. Plus,
Dabbled in
Sussex students
carpentry,
from work.
making a like interactive
Just a network of Brighton
box
people, which
thing.
is quite nice.
So
I
we
think
painted
last
massive
year, because I was so
chalk cube,
campus based, all of
sides
my
of
friends
use
were
on it,
also
and then
first years and
people's
also
experiences
Sussex,
and
now
have
kind of
talkers around it, so that students
branched
can
out to be
probably be
the general
hands-on and
Brighton
put their experiences in a way
area,
that
which
isn't daunting, but it
it
also
makes the
shows you're
city
not
seem a
alone.
lot smaller.
Because I
You can
think
walk around and be like,
quite
oh
an important
hey,
thing
how
to
are you
not feel
doing?
isolated when you've experienced something
Just a
like that.
stranger.
Wow, I mean, it sounds like it's becoming a full
good.
time. And are they all at the same
Welfare
stages as you?
side of your life,
or have they got
so
other
expecting
challenges, other
strike and
things going on?
pulling out the stops to
Definitely
help
different things.
strikers?
They're
Okay.
kind of
Admirable.
ranging from
And
35 to
I'm also
my
interested
age, I
to
guess.
know how
And it's interesting to see
this whole
people
experience
who are in
is
kind of full-time work and the way that their
shaping
schedule and
your
timetables
skill
works,
set,
and
if
when
you like, that you
they
may
don't have
not
such command
get
of their own
with paid
full-time,
employment.
the
I
frustration
mean,
that brings with it.
clearly
It's definitely made
use
me
a
think
lot
I
of your
don't
own
want to
initiative,
be in a 9 to 5 job.
and you
I mean, I've always thought
mobilise
that,
other
but
people. I mean,
It
what other
seems more
skills
detestable now
would
that
you
I've
say
seen
you've
it
you've
a little
now
bit
really
closer, and having
developing very, very nicely
hours that you
by doing
can't
this?
change,
adaptability
or
or
no
flexibility
control over your
kind
time
of
is very
because it's
limiting.
part-time
At least
Mhm.
if you're in a field that
and
you're
not paid,
completely
it has to
in love
fit
with.
around
I
my
think
main
it would
priorities.
either
So
be
Right.
I work
like paid work
regimented
and
hours
university.
that I don't have control over,
But
doing
then
something
because
really
I'm helping
passionate
students,
about,
it have to
Yeah.
fit around their main
something that
priorities
I
as
can
well.
Yeah.
So it's
vary
being
a
able to
little
like
bit more
align
fit with things that
timetables
will
up
motivate
and
me,
go
so
to
I
different
feel to keep
meetings
working without
while also
just
focusing on work
feeling overwhelmed or
and
just
making
a little
sure
bit bummed
that
out.
people's opinions and views are being
the
held
work-life
in a way that's
balance is
respected, but
an
also
ideal that lots
isn't
of graduates
too obtuse. So kind
aim
of being a
for.
bit of a chameleon
And
in a way,
equally,
while still
employers are
making
trying to
sure
offer
that what I think is best
flexibility,
kind of
flexi
gets out
time,
there. Or rather what
sabbaticals
my
in
role
some
dictates is
cases.
best. My
So
opinion can't
the
be
working
something that
environment
pushes me to
is
follow
changing in
or-
certain industries.
Yeah, because you're dealing with
but others, there's
lots of different
long
people
hours
and so you're
culture
managing
and
your timetable as
sort of
well.
more traditional
Is there anything
work
that
structures. So it's good that you can
you're stepping out of
be
your
someone
comfort
who's
zone,
there
you do
doing it.
seem
Presumably, the 35
naturally well
Yeah.
attuned to this kind of activity. Is there anything
and how
where
it's
you
hard
feel
to
you've
balance
had to
everything and the
push
time it
yourself,
takes to
as a
commute
situation?
and then
Designing
what it's like for other
various
people.
posters and stuff has been quite
I mean,
hard.
at the moment you're working
I like doing art. I do
part-time.
watercolors and stuff in my
Yeah,
own time,
part-time.
but
Yeah.
designing
0
like
contract, which
informative
is
posters and
lifesaver, but
infographics
since the
has
strikes
been
were on,
really
I picked
hard
up
to make sure
it
that
was like
the
35,
picture
40
to word
hours a
balance
week.
is right and all
It
the
was
fonts
just
are nice and everything's
just
pretty but
heavy
informative
work hours finishing
and
at
how to
3 a.m. most
circulate that
nights,
in the
which
right
is-
social media circles.
It was an
and
interesting
making people
insight to
aware
see
of it.
that that's how
And that's been
the managers
probably
that
the
I work
hardest thing.
alongside
kind of
work
going from
all the time.
maybe 20
I was
interactions
working as
to
though
like
I
over
was
1,000
just a
interactions on my
normal
Facebook page
hotel
and how
staff employee.
I've had to
And
change
it
the
was-
kind of stuff I'm putting out.
It was
more,
it
change
just
frequency.
hadn't crossed my
change the
mind
kind
that
of
there were
information.
people that worked
This
hours
isn't
that
something
I
I've done before.
thought
I'm
were
normally just a
kind of
much more like
inconceivably
people to
hard. You
people
just
Yeah.
kind of thing. So using a
you
digital
had to do it,
platform,
and it was
even though I'm really young,
it's kind of daunting to think
just
that I'm going to have to get to a
hasn't come
point where I have
naturally.
to
But
be
I
able
think
to
I'm
cope
getting
with
there.
such a heavy
Increased
workload.
like
Although
tenfold
I won't be
in
studying at full time
interactions.
at the
Wow.
same time.
I mean,
That's
that-
pretty decent. All the extracurricular
that is
stuff, but it
interesting
was-
in
there'll still be
itself
other jigsaw
that,
pieces to fit in.
being
And
a
it's kind of
young
how-
student that,
what can I
most
do now to make sure that I'm
recruiters
strong enough
or
and happy
employers
enough
will
to be able to
assume
work as
you
hard
grow
as I
up with it.
enjoy working.
You're comfortable with it,
to still
number
be
one,
fulfilled and
and
not
that
burn out.
you are an expert with using it, but that's
Well,
wildly
clearly not always the case.
working
I
till
think
3
there's a
a.m.
difference between being an expert and using it and being
and
an
doing
expert
everything
in
else is
kind of
not
orchestrating
sustainable.
it.
No,
because like I can use social media as a user very easily, but
being in that situation,
a material creator is a very different dynamic, I think.
Aspects going back to the work environment that you definitely don't.
It's nice you've had the opportunity to flex that muscle, and who knows where that might take you.
I've done shift
so I was talking to Anastasia, and she went along to the question time.
And it's not that I can't
do it. I did. So I got invited by the chair of PulseOc to go.
Political
society. They're so motivated.
Who were co-chairing it.
We don't break the rules, but we bend them to make
sure
that we can have a good time.
It was really good.
And enjoy what we're doing, and that guests are happy. And I think if you're in a community that
I think the Conservative
understand that
got a little
inherently
bit
the work is difficult.
I later found out he and the Labour
for you to be perfect
representative had gone to school together, so they had quite a few
it's
in-jokes.
Easier. Whereas
between kind of arguing
hospitals, it was
on stage, they would like look at each other and laugh, and it was 100%. It was interesting.
If you made mistakes, you were punished for it rather than what went wrong, how you prevent it.
The room definitely mirrored what I think is representative of
the hours that matter.
Greens was super
so much.
supportive.
It's the way
Labour was super supportive. Lib Dems a little bit.
Build the
Brexit Party, not at all. Conservatives.
Yes, I mean, it's clear to me that your priority is doing something that you are passionate about,
and just making
and
sure
two, with other people that share that. So
what they're told.
You'd work
and not
however many hours, maybe not for a massive salary, but at the end of the day,
and there are sections
going to keep you up at night. You feel like you're doing something worthwhile and satisfying.
Exhausted by the whole thing.
There'll be opportunities like that, but
from
it's good that
conversations I had earlier,
able to quite the opposite, shape your likes and dislikes at this stage, rather than leaving it
to drive to get people to register to vote, because
which
we know
for a lot of
last
students,
time there's a lot of talk.
They view the start of their career the minute they set foot at university.
So
it's not just
presumably you're
focusing on a specialist subject,
and I've been on campus with flyers and QR codes and little tents. Like, are you registered to vote?
Softer skills, learning about yourself aspects that come through.
A couple of my friends in the SU have been doing door knocking to make sure everyone's
and of course, the financial investment
which constituency would be best to vote
is huge and hanging over the heads of every student.
And if home isn't a safe seat, then it can be more beneficial
really
to use a postal vote instead of a local ballot. So that's been really interesting.
For me,
and I think people learning
it's kind of so because my brother's went to university when it was still a bit more alluring to students. For me, 1 year at university
kind of subverting, but it's all within the rules.
But because they were so flippant
that's interesting because
kind of with all of their debt
this campus particularly is very liberal, has a reputation for
I can still live my life,
so to
earning
have
money, spending that money, and not have
most
to
parties
break away
representative in that format
and
is good.
If
so you
I
can at
earn enough
least
to be able to start paying it off, that's great.
Yeah, you can hear a lot of
it,
but
I've never had represented in, so I don't know if it's crippling or not.
Like we've recently had Turning Point UK on campus,
parents,
and there was
my mother, bless her, she's very strong-headed, but she built an entire
just because
surgery
so
and just
used to this being
like £1 million to do it.
Bubble.
So our
it's really interesting to
see
see how
and it's
quite extreme right-wing opinions and ideas are coming onto campus
and so
growing in little bubbles. And I think it comes from
concept that I think I don't
kind of apathy towards politics.
Just
looking to
It's just if I can afford to pay rent, if I can eat food, and I can
right-wing extremism.
It's always been like
do that,
buying
a little bit scary.
Waitrose or something. Then
students here are very diverse, and they bring lots of
I mean, trying to economise and living beneath your
means
is a good thing to do, because
but particularly right now we've got the strikes
very
as well
low to begin with, and cost of living certainly in London is sky high, so it's not
further
always possible to
occurring. Students
for financial
interested.
reasons.
I mean,
but if you've got that mindset
going on, I mean, you've been out there and you've been speaking to people and getting involved. So what's your take on it?
So generally,
wow. Okay. So you've got your exams coming up in January.
There's people that don't care.
Is that
people
through the entire month?
Very enthusiastic. There's no really middle ground.
2.5 weeks.
The students that don't care are just upset.
I think I have no 2 on one day, but I have a couple.
I get that the university has to treat lecturers well, but like I'm paying $9,000.
I'm looking at applying to internships.
Whereas my education, but then there are doing other students that have been a bit more informed and generally have
page forms online about me,
personal relationships with lecturers,
or expand my CV into
our educational environment.
Someone
working environment
can read it,
and the two can't be
alongside.
We're entwined.
Hours of revision.
Lecture and just staff well-being is
to try and get
our
in
educational
earlier,
policy,
quicker, do
and
the online
there's a lot of
as soon as possible.
kind of
So
going
it's
through Adam Tittle's
balancing
old dissertation
kind of
where he says you need to slay the neoliberal beast,
goals,
and then
which is
you look at the
getting
way
good
he's running
grades
the
with
university and
long-term
realise
goals.
he's
Well,
a
medium-term,
neoliberal
which is
himself, and the
kind of summer
hypocrisy that's gone
internships,
into
with
it.
long-term
He's just
being
left behind his
a potential
history that got
graduate
him to
employer
vice
that
chancellor
aligns
here,
with my ethics
and
and
has
my
instead
morals
capitalised the
and
entire
good
university.
connections so that
And
I
there's a
can
lot
do what I
of
want to do, and
just
it's
anger at that because
kind of trying to
Sussex
fit those
isn't
three
what
goals so that everything I
Sussex
do
is
each
being
day
branded
moves
as
towards all
to a
of
lot of
them.
international students and to newcomers, and
At the
it's
moment, exams don't seem too
there's just a lot of
I'm able to
frustration there,
the course
especially
with my
when
friends
working
fairly
conditions are getting so
confidently
poor
and
and
have that
educational
so
quality is dropping. It's
Well, you take a very
very passionate students,
methodical
and then students
approach
that
to
just
things,
ask to
step by
inform.
step.
So a lot of what's been going on is just
And,
informing,
you've
having
always
chats,
ticked off lots of
conversations,
goals
like
whenever
going to
we've
parties
spoken
and
to
just
you.
be like, by the way,
So I'm sure
you know,
you'll
like, how awful your
walk
lecture,
through
your
these
seminar leaders treated.
exams with no
Maybe
problem.
you
We
could
wish
do
you all the
to
luck with that,
improve that.
and catch up
Yeah, I
with
mean,
you
it's
next month.
had strikes before.
Thank you very much.
It depends.
So I'm here with Tor to find out a little bit more about what she's been up to in the last 4 weeks since we spoke. So Tor,
it's good
what
that
have you
they
been up
kind of
to?
sort of
I've been really
understand and be
busy
patient
getting
in
ready
the
for
meantime.
Christmas
So
and all that kind of festive stuff.
Yep.
So
apart
help
from
run
all
a
that,
youth group as part of my
what else have you been up to
placement.
relax,
It's called
have fun?
Download. It's run
I've
by
been
Discovery
working
College,
a lot at the ground. I'm
which
trying to
is
save
like
up for
Recovery
Christmas so I can
College.
get nice
So
Christmas
Recovery
presents.
College is the
Which has been really fun. I've
they
done some
offer
private
courses
parties,
to
which has been
people
really
with
good.
mental
So
health
I've kind of had
challenges
to
or people
take on
kind
more of a leadership
experiencing
role
emotional
as a waitress instead of just like being
or
told
those
what to do by
caring
the
for
managers. I'm
them,
like, cool, I'm
or
organising
if you're a
this
mental
whole
health
party room of 40
see.
people.
So
Exciting.
it's
Which has been
so the
really
Recovery
good.
College is kind of based
What else? Oh, I'm
Brighton,
going to
Hove, and
Paris
kind of
with my family
Eastbourne
soon.
way.
Yeah.
Just
And then
because we
Discovery
do that at
College,
Christmas,
because it's
which has
completely
been
run
really
by
nice.
Sussex Partnership.
Yeah,
It's part
just
of the
lots of
participation team
little
which
bits
I'm
and bobs.
working in.
And this week is
So
open
it's kind of more
art open houses. So there were loads of artists in Brighton,
Hastings kind of
Yeah.
way.
and they've got a map
But
with all
it's
of
a really
the
good
houses and they're all
opportunity for
open
young people,
up
either
until
who
the
are
3rd of
already
December, I think.
accessing
So I'm
mental
slowly
health services.
making
So
my way
quite
up
a
to
few of the young people
yeah.
I'm working
How
with
nice.
are
Really
already
interesting.
accessing CAMS.
All right. Thank you very much, Sarah. We'll look forward to checking in with
And it
you
kind of
next month.
just gives them a place to.
I'm
meet
delighted
with
to
other
be
people
here with
other
Tor today
challenges
to
and
find
not
out what she's been up
necessarily
to in the
talk about
last
their
month.
difficulties,
Right.
but
Tor,
just kind
what
of
have you been
know
up to?
actually
Hi,
you're in a safe
so I'm still on
environment
placement.
because
It's
everyone's
been
kind of
quite a busy
struggling with
month.
something.
Yep.
And it's okay if you don't want to
The main
participate
thing
in
I've been
something.
working on
It's
is
fine if you
participation
do,
work.
that kind of stuff.
So
So
I am
last, it
the kind
happens
of the
once a month
student
on like the last
for
week of
all
the
of
month, but this month's going to be
so the
kind of like
Sussex
the last week
Partnership
of
Foundation
term,
and
so
Right.
NHS
next
Trust
week.
for
Yeah.
CAMS.
So last
we've
month
got
we
East
just
Sussex
kind of
is
talked about
Hastings, Ouse Valley, which is Lewis,
well, we've had
Arkfield,
they kind of have
going up to
discussions.
Crowborough,
So
and then
there's this thing called the Wellbeing
Big
So
area.
I've been
which you
taking
can check out the
feedback
library
from there,
and they've
I
got
want
like
to
a
do
family
stuff with
one
it.
and an adult
Okay.
one and then
So
a
in the
young person
past,
one. So we were just kind
get
of
like
looking at
long
them
positive
and kind of
feedback
seeing what
about
sorts of
specific
things they have
clinicians,
in and what
but the
other
clinicians
things
don't
young
get to see
people
that.
would like or
And I
dislike,
think that's
that
quite
kind of
sad
stuff.
because actually
And
a
for
clinician's done
Christmas,
some
we're going
work
to do
and,
like a gingerbread house
they've actually changed a young
competition.
person's life.
So
And then we
kind
then
of mix
get
in participation
negative
with also
feedback
kind of
and how to
fun things
improve.
do.
And at the
So
moment,
what's your role
that's
in
not
that?
being looked at.
So I'm
So
co-leading
I
it.
brought it to my
okay.
supervisor and said, like,
So,
I want to
you know,
do something
my
with
title,
this.
or
And
facilitator, something
we have
like
to go
that.
through the
Wow,
proper
this will be the
channels.
first time you've done
But
something
yes,
like that?
she said that we can do
Yes,
something,
so I
I'm really
kind of
excited
helped
about
with
that.
a
Wow,
youth
so
group when I was
you've used your
younger,
initiative to
but
challenge
kind of more as a
formal ways of
participant
doing
rather than
something
Yeah,
to your
like a
supervisors. So
leader.
was
So
that
this
out
is
of
the
your
first time
comfort
I've
zone,
got
or are you
the
quite
leader,
happy
so
to
I'm really
make that
enjoying
step?
it.
Yeah, wow,
I was
great.
quite happy
I mean,
because I get on with my supervisor.
are you hoping you'll get
and
out
she was
of
kind
it?
of suggesting that I do
well,
take an initiative, and
I've
she was kind of
learnt-
encouraging me. So I've done it on a few other
I've
things.
kind of learned
and
more
yeah,
about
she's
Discovery
really
College,
encouraging, so I
and
think
it's
that's
made
helpful.
me investigate
Wow, very
Recovery
good.
College.
What else has been going on? I know there's some
signed up
strike
to
action
Recovery College
today.
this
Yeah, so
term,
the uni's
I
on
did a course
strike
in experiments
for
in
8 days.
printing.
Yeah.
So
Monday
we kind of dug
until
into
next
lino
week.
and things like that.
It causes
And
a lot
then
of
made
disruption, and that is the
print.
point.
I
They've been
have
really good
put in
this
my
year, so I was
diary
trying to think back.
back.
They
like,
didn't
open
strike
day
last
for
academic
next
year,
term, and I'm
but
hoping
they
to
did
do
strike
some.
last year.
And kind of
So I was in
through
first
recovery
year,
college, I
and
was
there
kind of
was basically
exploring
no information
kind of other things
spread,
I'd like to
especially
try.
not through emails.
So this week I've signed up to
And I was
a
living on
cookery
campus,
course
so I never had to cross
at
the
East
picket
Bourne
line
College,
Right.
because I was already on
East
campus.
Sussex College.
And we were told just
I
go
think
to
evening class,
lectures,
there's only like 6 participants.
expect that they'll be there.
People,
Right.
students, I suppose.
And
So
this
I'm
time
really looking
round,
forward to
we've
that.
had so
So
many
no
emails.
Virginia
We've had
Red came.
emails from
Yeah, and other things.
I've had
yeah.
emails from
Right,
disability
okay.
advisory supervisors saying,
sounds good. And you're going to be part of a team of other students doing this on your placement?
Yes, so there's quite a few of us, and
I've had an email from my placement supervisor saying, hey, I may or may not be on strike.
So I've just advertised
I've been looking into doing a junior research assistant in the summer.
So
and again, they said, yep, I may or may not be on campus, because obviously they've got no obligation to tell us whether or not they are. And that is part of the disruption.
Like music. There's this thing called expert by experience.
2 academic years ago, I was kind of quite annoyed
to say actually,
but because I was on crutches all the time and I was trying to get
positive with your experience
through campus, so I was like, it would take me like 20 minutes to get to a lecture hall, and then I'd be there, and it would take me 20 minutes to get back, and I was like, I've just wasted
and then
14
just
because we were kind of told that
says, okay,
if you're
yes, you've got this
not
experience,
there,
you've got this
and the
mental
lecturer is
health
there, you'll be penalised.
diagnosis, or you've struggled with this.
This is something out of your control.
But actually,
whereas this time around they're like, okay, please don't go to lectures.
Kind of just
they've got picket lines on campus.
I mean, this seems something more than a tick box exercise, because
I was driving in.
Last time when
that's
the
new,
strikes
last
were on,
time
you talked
round,
about people having
I don't think there were people
lanyards.
kind of stopping drivers.
Can you just explain that again?
Yes,
But
so
they just gave me a
the
leaflet
sunflower
and I said,
lanyard
I'm not going to
is
lectures.
the idea
They
that
said
people
kind of
with
encouraged me
invisible
not to be on campus
disabilities,
at all.
so it
I
could be a
said,
health
I need
condition,
to.
it could be a mental health condition,
And
anything
then I
like
went to
that
Falmouth
that you
House
can't
and
visibly
picked up
see.
a sunflower
Just,
lanyard.
it's
So
a
the
scheme
sunflower
to
scheme
kind of
is
say,
a
okay,
hidden
yes,
disability
this
scheme.
person
It's
has
nationwide.
like,
So
if they're asking for a
being
seat
rolled
on the
out.
train,
It's just been
don't go and
introduced on
stare at them.
campus.
Yeah.
Or
But I believe like train stations
because I keep
and
using
bus
my
stations
crutch
and stuff are
recently.
also
People keep asking me,
kind of
what have you
adopting
done? And I'm kind
I've
of
not heard of
getting
that.
quite
the idea, I think, is
disheartened,
quite a new scheme.
kind of just
The
saying,
idea is
like,
that
no,
if you're wearing a
this is, like, part
lanyard,
of
it just
me.
kind of
And I was talking
encourages
to my
people
friend
to
Jess
realise
with a
that,
visual impairment.
okay,
I was just
you've
saying,
got a
why does
disability,
no one
it may
say
not
to
be
you,
seen. So for me, all my
why are
joints
you using your
dislocate,
cane?
but
And
unless
she
they're
did actually say that
dislocated,
someone
you're not going to know.
quite recently thought that it was a
And
fishing
it's
rod
also working for mental health
on the train.
conditions.
So I suppose
some
it does
people with really
happen.
severe
Yeah, so you've been on the
anxiety
receiving end,
stuff,
and
being
now
approached
you're
by a picket
working
person
with other
could be
people
quite intimidating and could
for
cause
this
quite high
wellbeing
anxiety
project.
levels.
And
So
you know,
I think it's just a
when
good
you
scheme.
graduate
All the picket
next
people
summer,
have been told, like,
is this
if
something
someone's
you'll
wearing a
either
lanyard,
look
kind
to
of
pursue in
let
a
them go
career, or
past.
certainly keep going
That's a
on
good way to identify
on a part-time
these
basis?
disabilities. That's brilliant.
Yeah, so it's kind of
and,
cemented
you know, apart from
my feelings that I want to work with
the disruption
people with
to
physical health
your
conditions.
timetable, I mean, what's the general mood among your friends? Are you
yes,
in
kind
support of them? Are you
seeing all
apathetic?
aspects.
Or?
So not
Yeah,
only
I think because this year they
kind of
actually
looking
kind of
at,
bothered
okay,
to
you
give
might
us a frequently asked
get
questions.
quite down,
And
quite
I was
anxious, or kind of
talking to my friends about it,
you can
and
have
I
any number of
assumed
mental
everyone
health
had read the
conditions with a
document.
physical
And I don't
condition.
remember reading the
But
document, and it's
also,
7 pages
even
long.
if you
So I feel like I
just,
must
I
have
say
read it
just
kind
have
of
a
at 4
physical
o'clock in the
condition,
morning when I was quite
so
tired.
you've managed to kind of survive
But
mentally.
I've got the information in my head,
Actually,
so I
it
was
can
like,
still
oh
be
yeah, they're striking
debilitating,
because
and
of
you can feel
there's
so
a disability
isolated.
pay gap.
So then working
And
with
my
those
friends were
people
like,
and saying,
what? We
actually,
haven't heard about this. And I was like,
empowering them and saying,
and
you
also
can
they're
actually do
striking because
something.
obviously disability
so I'm really
access on
passionate about
campus.
it.
I know
Good.
from being
I
in a
mean, in the
wheelchair,
future there are
it's
going to be
horrendous. Like rooms might be
more people
accessible,
responsible within
but
firms
in order to
for
get from
wellbeing,
one area of
diversity,
campus to another
inclusion,
bit,
and
sometimes
lots
it's
of
not
other things. We
accessible.
hope.
Right.
So it's looking at the big
that,
picture.
that may well be a career.
So yeah,
you
I
know,
think
when you
my
graduate,
friends
Yeah.
are in
an actual
support and we're
position
kind of
as a
like, actually,
wellbeing
thank you for
coordinator or
bothering
something
to
like
tell
that.
us
So it's good that
why you're on
you're
strike.
getting experience in that
because,
field combined with your studies.
It is important.
Wow. Okay.
Apart from that,
not only
obviously takes up a lot of time
that,
preparing and actually attending
been faced
these.
with recently, but also
How else have
living in
you
Eastbourne.
been
We've
coping at
heard in the
university,
news that a hotel had almost burned
financially,
to
for
the ground. You
instance?
weren't affected by that, were you?
So
Yes,
financially,
so
I've
the
got my
hotel, because I live
tutoring
quite near
and
the
I've got
seafront,
the
it was
support
kind of
from
like a block
government.
behind
Yeah.
me. So that was quite
good.
frightening. I was driving back
And
home
then kind
on
of
Friday,
just-
kind of
we had a
lunchtime,
recent
and I was
university
getting nearer and
placement
nearer
day.
to my
Yeah.
home.
So we came
and I
back
was
to
thinking,
uni,
this is some
and
strange
they were
fog.
kind of talking about.
And then I was kind of like,
they talked a
hang
little
on,
bit
no,
about third
this
year
is kind of coming
options
up,
and dissertations.
and I realised it was smoke. And I
so
got home,
I'm kind
and
of
like,
quite
I got
glad
into my
that I had my
house, even
placement
though I
year,
had no doors or windows
because I've
open.
kind of
My house still
changed
smelled really smoky.
what I would have wanted to do because I looked at them last
I
year.
looked online and they were saying that like local people
But
should
now
keep their
I'm
doors
a
and
lot
windows
more
shut,
kind of
try and stay
orientating around
inside.
health psychology and obviously the physical
for
health
some
side.
people, their first
Yeah.
instinct is to go to the
Because
seafront, see what's
when
happening.
before I started
And
my
that
placement,
kind of
I
was the
thought
thought,
health
and I was
psychology
thinking,
was
actually no,
literally
because you're just going to be in the
oh,
way,
stop
and
smoking,
you're not going to help.
lose weight,
If
that kind of
anything,
stuff.
Yeah.
But I realised that it's so much more, and it is
all
a
the
really new
hotel
field,
people were
which is why I didn't know
being
anything
kept
about
in the
it.
town hall. So I think
again, there aren't many
situations like that. You probably should go to the town hall and say, "Hey, can I please assistance?" Rather than just looking at the big fire.
Pursuing that
And
doing
the
all these kind of
firefighters
well-being
did a good job with
that
putting
will
it out.
have more
Everyone was
experience,
okay.
and obviously having physical health conditions myself.
Yeah, I went out.
It means that I can
like
empathise
Sunday,
with people.
so 72 hours after the fire
the beauty
started,
of the placement is it
and you
either
could just smell
cements
smoke
your
and
idea
kind
of
of
what you
it reminded
do want
me
to
of
do or don't
bonfire
want to
night.
do.
I was like, really
And
kind of
I may have asked you before, but how many other students are doing a placement?
So for psychology, we've got 60 of us.
It's not the first time it's happened either. We have quite a lot of fires on.
There were 350 of us in our first year.
Yeah.
That dropped to about 270, so 60 out of 270.
But I thought something that was
quite
quite
a big
interesting
percentage,
is they took the
627.
water directly from the sea.
Okay.
And yeah, I think
less
that's
than half.
obviously that's really good. It's really
Usually
clever.
they say it's probably they have about a maximum of 30 people.
Maybe it's good that it's
So
on the seafront.
they had to get a whole new
You can put it out
supervisor
there.
in.
True. Well, I'm
because of the
glad
amount of
the
people
whole
who do
building didn't
placements.
burn down
That's a
and
good thing.
you weren't
Yeah.
affected. I did.
And presumably you
wonder
have to
you've
pay
been
for...
the-
Yeah, so you have to pay
Yeah.
20% of the tuition fees.
Right.
And
Affected by
then
it, so
my
that's good.
peers
So despite that
have
and the
reduced,
strikes,
maintenance
you've managed to come
loans,
in to speak
even
to
though
us
they
today.
shouldn't have
Yeah.
done. So
So
there's
it's lovely to
constant
catch up with
kind
you,
of gone
Tor,
awry with
and
student
we
finance.
look forward to catching up with you again in a month's time.
That,
See you in
because
a
we're all on
month.
unpaid placements.
Yeah, right.
I hope you're
Yeah,
able to
so
get
we're
some useful
working-
insights there
I
from
was
our
kind
3
of,
Sussex University students.
I had my family
I'll be back on campus next month to
family
check in with
meet-up for
Anastasia,
Christmas, and I was
Tor,
saying,
and Sarah.
I'm paying
Thank you.
£15 a day to work in the NHS for free. I'm physically gathering a debt to be here.
Yeah. Well, when you put it like that, you really have to make it count, and it sounds like you are bringing as much as out of it as possible. Which ultimately, when you put it on your CV, you'll be able to realise the value of that.
Yes.
And maybe negotiate a good salary because of that experience. So I think it's very worthwhile what you're doing, and particularly the way you've channeled your passion in this area. Which obviously keeping you very, very busy, and presumably looking forward to a couple of weeks off now.
Yeah, so this will be the first year that I haven't had to prepare for exams or revision. So it's an actual Christmas off.
Good.
So that will be first time since before GCSEs.
Lovely.
So I'm looking forward to it.
Good. Well, I hope you have a lovely time off,
Thank you.
and we'll catch up in January.
Yeah, have a good Christmas.
Thanks, Tor.
So I hope you found our conversations interesting and insightful. We do look forward to speaking to our University of Sussex students again in the new year. Please do tune in. Thank you.